Hi everyone, Laura Kalk here with In Bloom Yoga and Wellness, and I am creating a demonstration for you on standing poses, including the Surya Namaskar A and B. Now, I just attended, oh, by the way, I am at the Oso Bay Wetlands Preserve in Corpus Christi, Texas, my hometown. And this is just a nice little background. So I thought I would come here. I just came from a Leslie Kaminoff. He's the author of The Anatomy of Yoga. And I'm just going to incorporate some things that I learned from his workshop. And so I hope you enjoy. It's going to be roughly 35 minutes or so, but you can always come back for more. I will continue to make videos. So today I'm going to demonstrate some standing poses, including Surya Namaskar A and B or Sun Sao A and B. And so I'm going to incorporate some things that I learned at Leslie's workshop. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and start in Tadasana. So in Tadasana, normally either you have, or mountain pose, I should say, mountain pose or Tadasana. Either your feet are together or maybe hip distance apart. Okay, so what do I mean by hip distance? Basically, where your where your sit bones are located, just think of down there. But according to Leslie, it's like you really want to play with it. You want to play with your Tadasana or Samastiti. And so, where does it feel good to you? Maybe close your eyes, lift your feet, and just see what feels good to your knees. And that is where you feel supported or best supported is where your feet, where we offer, or I encourage you to place your feet. Okay, so you always kind of have to do an inquiry into your body or into the poses or where I ask you or invite you to move, because everyone's body is different, and what may feel good to me may not feel good to you, and vice versa. So yoga is movement, breath, moving, breathing into movements, but listen to your body. And so here, go ahead and place your feet in a nice comfortable position. Your quads engaged, your navel in, up and in, shoulders up, back, and down. And just breathe here. Feel that energy coming in through your feet, but also the feel your the base and your strong legs. You want to have a very strong base for your poses. So shoulders up, back, and down, and hands at heart center. This is Samastiti. This is the base of all poses. Okay, now I'm going to cover what's called Ujjayi breathing. So with Ujjayi breathing, this is what I'd like you to practice, or I invite you to practice during this exercise. Okay? So, Ujjayi breathing is victorious breathing. So, you breathe in through your nose, you out through your nose, you constrict a little of your throat to where it makes an oceany sound, and and it you almost sound like Darth Vader. So you can typically hear yourself, maybe your neighbors if you had people beside you. So it's a okay. So that is Ujjayi breathing. So we're in Samastiti, and here here we're going to start with Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. With Sun Salutation A, you inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, use your core to hinge at the waist. Here, your hands are in line with your big toes, maybe to the side. If you can't touch the ground, you can place your hand on your legs, your shins. Inhale, halfway lift, long back. Place your hands on your shins. Push your shoulder blades back. Your gaze is forward and down. Exhale, forward fold. Use your core to fold or hinge at the waist. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Always use your core to come up, and hands at heart center for Samastiti. I just demonstrated Surya Namaskar, or half sun salutation. So now let's start in Samastiti. So remember earlier, I invited you to kind of play with where your feet are for where they feel comfortable for Samastiti. And I did a half sun sal earlier. Now we're going to do a full sun sal. So inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lung back. Exhale, plant your hands down, back into, feet back into a high plank. And let's go into Chaturanga Dandasana. So you lean forward, look forward, lean forward, down, halfway, elbows in, and tuck your toes. Come up for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog, and exhale into downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here your fingers are spread, your toes are spread. Imagine someone pulling up at your hip creases. Now, bring your right leg forward, your right foot forward, and your left foot at an angle with your left foot out. Now, here with Warrior One, or Virabhadrasana 1, I used to think that we wanted a wide stance because we are warriors, we're strong. But actually, the way Leslie teaches is you want to be able to get out of that bent knee without lifting your your left or your back leg, your back foot. So the wide your stance does not have to be that long, but he does invite us to keep a stance in line with our sit bones. Okay, so staggered a little bit. So again, I'm going to test. Can I come out of that front bent leg without losing my balance here on my left leg, my left foot? So we want all three parts of your foot to be grounded. We want a strong base. So what I mean by the three parts is the two parts of your front foot, right? The big toe, little toe, and then your heel is one. So those are the three parts. So can we keep all four, all three or six, okay, and both feet grounded at the same time throughout this? So I can come back without lifting that back foot. So this is a good foundation for me. Our sternum is forward, arms up. Your knee it can be over your ankle. That's normally how we teach it. Okay, but what feels good to you? Arms up. Breathe, maybe slight back bend. Breathe. Breathe. And what do you notice into this pose? I notice my back leg is not quite completely straight, and that's okay. So now we exhale, plant our hands down, and we cartwheel our hands down into a Chaturanga Dandasana. Look forward, elbows in, halfway down, and inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now we bring our right foot forward, left foot staggered a little and pointed out, and inhale. So let me test that. Can I get out? Can I bend back into to for my feet to meet without losing my left foot grounded? Okay, so here, this is a good stance for me. Inhale, arms up, sternum forward, maybe slight back bend. This is warrior one. Breathe. Both legs are equally grounded, and you can feel that energy, that nice strong base. Breathe. And exhale, cartwheel your hands back down into another another Chaturanga Dandasana. Look forward, tippy toe up, up, forward a little, down, elbows in. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana and exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Here, we're lifting our hip creases. Feel that length in our hamstrings. Core is engaged. Deep breaths here. Fingers and toes are spread. Deep breaths. And look to the top of the mat. And hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Long back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms up, gaze up, and hands at heart center. Namaste. Now I'm going to demonstrate Surya Namaskar B. So with Surya Namaskar B, let me demonstrate Utkatasana real quick. So our first, we're in Samastiti, and then our first pose is Utkatasana, or chair pose. So our arms, we inhale, look up, and then we get into a chair-like pose. So in our chair-like pose, our core is engaged. We shift our hips under, and we're in, this is fierce pose, Utkatasana. Some people call it chair pose. But this definitely uses the core, the glutes, shoulders, and we could inhale, lift our arms, and exhale, lower deeper into the pose. Look down, and if you cannot see your toes, you want to scoot back a little. Lean back a little. All right, so that is Utkatasana. So now we're going to start in Samastiti again. So our feet, remember we talked about earlier, we're going to start in Samastiti. Our feet, where they feel comfortable. Quads engaged, navel in, up and in, shoulders up, back, and down. Hands at heart center for Samastiti. And inhale, arms up in chair-like pose for Utkatasana. Hip tucks under. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, halfway lift, long back. And exhale, plant your hands down and into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here again, we bring our right leg forward, left foot staggered, left foot at an angle out, toes pointed out. Inhale to Warrior One. And exhale, cartwheel your hands back down. Into Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale down. Inhale. 2, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now we bring our left foot forward, right foot to the feet pointed out. Inhale into Warrior One. And exhale, cartwheel your hands back down into another Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And here will be for 5 counts. Breathe on your own. Deep breaths, cores engage. You're looking in between. I invite you to look in between your legs. You're making an upside down V here. Fingers spread, toes spread, and hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms up in chair-like pose. Hips tuck and under, core engaged. Can you see your toes if you look down? Inhale, arms a little higher. Exhale, maybe drop a little lower. And exhale into Samastiti. So here I am at home because I ran out of battery at the Wetlands. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you, I'm going to demonstrate how to do Chaturanga Dandasana. Start in Samastiti. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands down. Legs go back into high plank. Look forward. Up little. Halfway down, elbows in. Untuck your toes for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Upward dog. Exhale into downward dog. So here, my feet, my gaze is in between my feet or my legs. My core is engaged. Maybe pedaling my feet. The sensation you want is like someone is pulling up at your hip creases. That's a sensation that you want to feel. Deep breaths here. And I'm going to plant my right foot forward and my left foot turned out a little bit. My feet are staggered. Inhale, 2. Warrior One. And I'm going to exhale into Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, your shoulders are down, away from your head. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little better. Okay. This is Warrior Two. And both legs are equally grounded. Shoulders down. Gaze in between my middle finger. So Leslie taught us something in the training, the workshop we went to. If you inhale, lift the sternum as you turn your hands back and breathe in, and then exhale, rotate your hands down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Now here, just turn our wrists over so we have a better rotation in our arms. And we actually have more engagement in my arms. And here I can straighten my front leg for Trikonasana. Lean forward, keeping that chest nice and open. Bring our right arm down, left arm up, and gaze up for Trikonasana. Few deep breaths. Feel the stretch here, here. So this is nice for strengthening and opening the chest. And shoulders. And inhale, up. Whew. Here's an invitation to get into Warrior 3. Let's place one leg forward, one back, both feet in line with your sit bones. So we're going to inhale, arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale and exhale, lean forward. Okay, now let's try it. Place our hands behind our back. And let's try to keep this part of your body aligned with your back foot, with your back leg. Okay, we're going to try to keep a straight line. So let's lean forward. As we lean into our front leg, our back leg rises. With our hands here. I lost it. Okay, we're going to try the other side. Let's see what the other side looks like. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So here we're going to inhale, exhale, keeping. Let's bend into that left foot, that front foot. Try to align our top body, the top part of our body, in line with our back leg. Hands behind your back. Lean forward. Try to keep that perfect alignment. Lean forward and your back leg comes up. This is harder to do on the left leg. One side is always stronger than the other. And that is Warrior 3. Now, I'm going to show you how to do Vrksasana or tree pose. So with tree pose, we want to get into mountain pose. Our toes and the two front parts are big toe, baby toe, and the heel of our foot is nice and grounded. Shoulders are quads engaged, navel in, up and in, shoulders up, back and down, and hands at heart center. Now shift all of your weight to one leg and keep your drishti in one spot, your gaze in one spot. Crown of your head is nice and tall. Bend the leg that you're not standing on, not that all of your weight is not on. Bend it and place it onto your other leg. As long as the heel of your foot is not directly on your knee, that is fine. Now you bring that leg out. You push your foot into your leg and you push your leg into your foot. Maybe you grow your branches. Breathe. Breathe. And release. Woo! Okay, now let's try that on our other leg because we always want to be balanced. So again, in mountain pose, Samastiti. Now, place all of your weight. Remember, gaze in one spot. Crown of your head is nice and tall. Bend your other leg. Place your foot on your standing leg. Bring it out. Push your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Breathe. Just in one spot. Nice and tall. Breathe. Maybe you grow your branches. Maybe you bring your hands together. Breathe. And release. Woo! Maybe you paddle your feet. It's a lot on your feet. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate Garudasana or Eagle Pose. It's one of my favorite poses. My poor students. But I want us to fly like eagles, or I want us to soar like eagles. Okay, so arms out, and I invite you to bring your feet together for this one because it's really helpful to have your feet together. And you get into chair-like pose. Bring your right thigh over your left thigh, and whichever leg is over, bring that arm under your other arm. So right arm under your left arm, palms to touch. Here, bring your arms up. Maybe scooch down a little further. Gaze in one spot. And release. And because we want to be balanced, let's do it on the other side. Arms out in chair-like pose. Opposite leg over and opposite arm under. Palms to touch. Lift the arms. Scooch the legs down. Core engaged for stability. Breathe.